Hi, Virgo. Thanks for checking out your weekly forecast for November 14th through the 20th. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to connect here and see what messages are coming up for the week ahead for the Virgo Collective. You might stumble upon this video at some later time, a few weeks, months, years later. It's all good. You're going to find the video whenever you're meant to find it, whenever you're meant to hear the messages that are in it. Keep in mind, this is a general reading for the collective. Therefore, not every single message is going to resonate, and that's okay. Take what does, leave what doesn't, and without further ado, my dears and my darlings, we're going to connect and see what's coming up here for the Virgo Collective. First card coming up here is the Five of Cups. Five of Cups can be disappointment. Five of Cups can be a sense of things not going the way that we had hoped, things not going the way that we had wanted. Now, the fact that the Five of Cups is coming up as the very first card makes me feel that this is more of, I don't know if I want to use the word blockage, but I feel like there's a hesitation in moving forward, that perhaps something did not go to your expectations or didn't go the way that you had hoped. And so now you may be moving forward kind of resentfully or very guarded because you're used to not getting what you want, or you're used to things not working out for you. So I feel there's a sense of kind of moving forward, like expecting disappointment, expecting to be let down. And so this card comes up to say this is something we need to clear. We don't want to go into a situation with expectation of disappointment. Sometimes we say, oh, well, I just do it to protect myself. But this creates more disappointment. This calls in more disappointment. So this could be a good time, Virgo, to do some self-reflection here and check in with yourself and ask yourself, am I preparing myself emotionally and mentally for the worst case scenario? Am I putting it out there that this is going to fail? Am I putting it out there that this isn't going to work out? Am I going into the situation overly guarded or like with walls up? So could be a good time for some self-reflection and to check in. Five of Cups can also come in when there are issues of self-medicating. Maybe you're feeling vulnerable about a situation, or maybe you're dealing with a person who's self-medicating. And so Five of Cups can come up to say we need to be aware of this, or we need to be cautious of this. Sometimes Five of Cups is coming up when we don't want to feel. We don't want to feel a situation, and we're finding some way of pushing down our feelings. So Virgo, if you're dealing with another person in a situation and you're wanting to appeal to their emotions, you're wanting to kind of like touch their heart and appeal to their heart, it might have the opposite effect in this week ahead. They might be feeling really vulnerable. They might be feeling very overwhelmed emotionally. So if you're doing things to kind of get them to feel like, come on, man, where's your heart? Have a heart. And you're trying to appeal in this way, they may close down. They may bring walls up. They may kind of like push you away. Now, you might say, you know what? That's fine. I don't want to deal with it if that's the case. I don't want to deal with someone who's going to put walls up. I don't want to deal with someone who's not ready to feel. If that's how you feel, you walk away from it. Otherwise, if it's a situation where you're like, well, I'm not going to walk away from this person, or I'm not going to walk away from the situation, but I know that I'm just going to kind of appeal to their logic more, or I'm going to, just kind of give them time to find themselves. But I feel if you're appealing to somebody's emotions, you might feel it's having the opposite effect. You might be dealing with someone who's just kind of processing some heavy things right now and having a hard time getting used to feeling. Maybe it's you. You may be the one who's in this energy. So just go easy with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. And remind yourself that, not to move forward with the expectation of, oh, it's not going to work out or it's all going to fall apart. This is a good time to balance our emotions. The next card that's coming up for the Virgo Collective is the Star. And look at this. This worry could very well be unnecessary because the Star card is very happy. The Star card is very positive. The Star card, if you follow the tarot, follows the Tower. So the Tower is when we have shock, we have chaos, we have things that are, happening all of a sudden, and it might feel like it's throwing our life off. But the Star follows the Tower to say, okay, you've been through the chaos, you've been through the drama. The worst of it is over. The chaos is over. It's done. It's in the past. It's behind you. And now you can expect things to get better now. What did I tell you? I said I felt like a lot of you Virgos were going into a new situation feeling very guarded. Like, I'm used to being let down. I'm used to being disappointed. I'm used to things not working out. And so I felt a very guarded energy. And now the Star card is coming up to say, look, you're in a new energy now. You're in a new karma now. You're in a new level now, right? The worst of it is over. The worst of it is behind you. This time around, things are going to work out. This time around, things are going to fall into place. This time around, you're going to be able to make plans about the future, and these plans are actually going to stick. They're actually going to be successful. Okay, the Star card can also indicate Aquarius energy. If you have Aquarius placements, there could be big changes or big shifts happening for you in those houses or in those areas of your life. Some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus that might be very significant in your life, a very significant soulmate. But the Star card tells us there's good things ahead. There's happiness ahead. I do feel for some of you, the Star card is going to indicate some kind of leveling up where there's a lot of attention coming your way. And you may be feeling a little uncomfortable with the attention that's coming your way. With this Five of Cups here, you may be uncomfortable about the attention, or you weren't wanting the attention, but Virgo, you're going to have to get used to it. Because there's a lot of things you're manifesting right now. There's a lot of successful energy that you're coming into. And unfortunately, you can't do this and be invisible. So, like, you're going to have to get used to that attention. You're going to have to get used to being seen or talking with people, or doing the whole kind of diplomacy thing here in your work endeavors, or even in your family or friendship circles. There's going to have to be a little bit of time spent with people and conversation. Some of you, I get a strong feeling of like hermit mode energy. Some of you are just good hunkered down. You're just kind of good to yourself, like good with yourself. But these things that you're manifesting, you're going to have to interact with other people. And some of you are feeling disappointed about this. But, it doesn't have to be constant. It doesn't have to be all the time. And know that you are coming into a high level of success here with the Star card. The next card that's coming up here for the collective is the King of Swords. This could be, again, air sign energy. We had Aquarius with the Star card. Now we have the King of Swords. So it could definitely be an Aquarius in the mix here, or Aquarius placement, but air sign person or air sign placement. So aside from Aquarius, could be Gemini or Libra. If you have Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra placements, you may be focusing on those areas of your life. You may be trying to get your ducks in a row in those areas of your life. And for some of you, there could be light shining down on those areas of your life, or changes happening for you in those houses or in those areas of your life where like more people are coming in, or you're meeting people that are involved with that area of your life, or interacting with people who are involved in that area of your life or those houses. The King of Swords is also a card of negotiating. And so it's very interesting to me that it's coming up here, because I got a vibe here of dealing with someone where, like, emotionally they may be very vulnerable right now. They may be having a really hard time feeling. And it's interesting because now we have the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is the master of negotiation. The King of Swords is really excellent about finding the win-win in a situation, finding the win-win solution. But he's going to appeal to things in a logical way. And so this card can come up to say, again, that as we're negotiating a situation, as we're coming into an agreement, it's going to be really good to approach it logically versus emotionally. And so this is confirming the feeling and the vibe that I got around the Five of Cups. Some of you are going to be negotiating something. You might be negotiating a contract. You might be negotiating a raise or a promotion. You might be negotiating a relationship. And you might be wanting to appeal to somebody's heart. Like, come on now. Like, I deserve this. Or, like, I'm a good person. And, I'm owed this. Or you should feel compassion for me. You should feel compassion for my situation. And they might just be like, they're not understanding that. So you might have to approach it from, this is why this makes sense. This is why me getting what I'm asking for is going to be good for you. This is why me getting what I'm asking for is going to be beneficial for you, right? This is how we're both going to win in this situation by you giving me what I want, or this is why this is going to benefit you. I also feel here that if it is something in terms of a romantic relationship, some of you might be dealing with a person who just needs a lot of mental reassurance, or like talking things through logically. Maybe you're wanting to be very soothing to them. Maybe you're wanting to be very comforting to them. They just might be like they can't handle that intense emotion. So it could be more like they're in the stage where they need to talk from a mental place. They need to talk logically, mentally. They might not be ready to talk feelings. They might not be ready for you to come in with this big old burst of loving, comforting energy. And so there could be, like, again, approaching things logically, approaching things from a mental standpoint versus emotional. Now, your next card here is the Knight of Wands. This could be fire sign energy, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. But the Knight of Wands oftentimes can come in with things being sped up, things happening quickly, could even be some kind of an ultimatum. Okay, maybe you're giving someone an ultimatum, maybe somebody's giving you an ultimatum, but the Nine of Wands is things happening very fast, things being very sped up. And this feels to me like whatever this agreement might be, whatever this planning might be, is like it's being sped up, like it's happening now. It's happening now. Versus something that you're going to do in the future or down the road. So for some, I do feel it's some kind of an offer that's requiring negotiating, maybe even some elements of compromise here. But it, like, there's not a whole lot of time to make these decisions. There's not a whole lot of time to figure these things out. So I feel you're coming into a time where things are going to have to be figured out quickly. Things are going to have to be figured out quickly. And so you have to rely on logic and you have to think things through. Sometimes we're not going to have a long time to make a decision. And that might stress us out because we want to make a good decision. And we're like, well, I don't have time. And sometimes more than time, what we actually need is to look at the situation and to gather the facts. Look at the facts of the situation. Look at the actuality of the situation, balance the pros and cons, and make the decision. So to make a good decision, we don't always need a whole lot of time, but we do need mental clarity and we do need to approach things logically. So Virgo, I feel like there's an opportunity that's going to require some negotiation, some talking, some figuring things out, some finalizing things, and it's going to happen very quickly, much more quickly than you had expected or anticipated. It feels like like a very sudden manifestation that's come out of nowhere. And again, you want to balance your emotions and feelings because Five of Cups comes up and wants to say, oh, things don't work out for me. Things don't work out for me. But again, maybe we were in the past approaching things very emotionally and wanting people to have a heart or wanting people like to be decent or have common decency. And unfortunately, not everybody has common sense, and unfortunately, not everybody has common decency. So if we're appealing to the situation logically, if we're talking, if we're planning, if we're negotiating, if, we're going to have a positive result versus going into a situation and hoping somebody is going to see what we're doing and acknowledge us and appreciate us and act accordingly. That might not happen. So you might have to go in and you have to lay it out. Here's what I'm doing. Here's what you're getting. Here's what I need. So negotiating, planning, coming into agreements. And then you can make a decision or come into agreements with a really solid foundation and things working out or panning out well. You might want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks your moon sign or rising sign might resonate more than your sun sign. There is a link in the description of the video that will take you to the other weekly forecasts. There's also a link in the description of the video that will take you to my scheduling page. If you would like to schedule a private reading with me, it will take you to calendly.com/amethystangelite, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I hope you all have a fabulous week ahead. Take care and be well, my darlings.